Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the third in our series of the Future Vision podcast, where myself and Colin Lees, Gamma's CTO, talk about technology trends that are likely to impact the communications market and business communications particularly. Today's topic is to talk about mobile. We referenced when we talked about fixed connectivity that people are increasingly wanting access to all the things that they have in the office, both at home but also on the move. Mobile obviously is the key enabler of that. What do you see happening in the mobile landscape, which is powering and enabling?
Yeah, that's a great question, Chris. When I think about mobile, I guess the first thing that there's three trends maybe that it's worth us talking about.
Yeah.
The first trend is I think we'll start to see ubiquitous coverage where 5G and voice just works. We all know today that there are times when calls drop.
Yeah.
There are times when data connections don't work. And what that means is that if you're trying to do a Teams call on the train, well, good luck with that, because I don't know about you, but it rarely works. So the first thing I think we'll see is ubiquitous coverage so that you can really trust the service on a mobile.
Yeah.
I guess the second thing that we will see is people will want things to be seamless across all of the devices that they have and for them to be connected all of the time.
Yeah.
So like many people, I work across a PC, an iPad, and a phone. Yeah. And what I love is that increasingly I can pick up where I left off, no matter what device I'm using.
Yeah.
And I think the third trend is that actually we're starting to see a very strong separation between the mobile contract or the SIM or eSIM and the device. People are really tending to buy those separately. Yeah. So those should be the three trends I think we need to think about.
So ubiquity is obviously a topic dear to all of our hearts. You and I travel the country, we travel around Europe. Yep, you never stay 100% connected, do you? What are we doing to try and do that, to try and address that problem rather and move beyond the patchy connectivity?
Well, I think the first thing that we need to do here in Gamma is work with more than one mobile operator as a partner. And the thing that you and I are working on this year is bringing in another well-known partner. I don't think we can quite say yet who, so that we're able to offer multiple mobile networks through the Gamma portal and the Gamma portfolio. I think that will really help give people choice, because what really matters to a business is that for their premise or their drive home, they can actually stay connected. And sometimes that means different mobile networks in different parts of the country. Yeah. So we need to offer more mobile networks. Yeah. But one thing that I know you're super passionate about, and I am too, is our Fusion IoT offering, where we're going to start exploring how we can work across many more networks and give people a SIM or eSIM that will connect to and provide coverage no matter what. Yeah. Maybe, do you want to share a little more about Fusion IoT?
Absolutely. So for me, I mean, that reflects a real two-pronged solution to different problems. Like you say, one is making sure that some of the most critical pieces of infrastructure in the country can stay connected wherever they happen to be based. There's lots of scenarios where vans drive around the country to help people. Not necessarily emergency services, but near to it.
Yeah.
And they transmit data backwards and forwards. They help people get allocated jobs. They help the technicians who are out there fixing problems. If they can't connect, because like you say, one network is not well covered in a particular area, that connectivity needs to move to a different network, doesn't it? And having the coverage through the SIM capability that allows everything to talk to everything, I think is incredibly powerful. The other bit, of course, in that IoT provides is the machine-to-machine transmission of information. And we've all been in that situation where you're on the phone to the council because the light bulb in the street light outside is broken. And I know you live in quite a rural area, so if the street lights are out, it's dark and dangerous. Imagine a situation where that street light can phone home. And for me, that's an incredibly powerful second use case where, again, you're not necessarily relying on ubiquity of coverage, but you're making more things connected than were ever possible before and solving problems in a very different way. We talked in one of our previous iterations about intelligent automation versus artificial intelligence. A smart street lamp that can phone home and say, my bulb was broken, that must save the local council money. And we're in a situation now where every authority in the country is strapped for cash. So the ability to just know that a person needs to go and fix a bulb there, rather than periodically driving past every single lamppost in the county, that's the kind of solution which I think IoT solves. So giving humans the ability to connect in multiple different places in multiple different ways without fear of it dropping. And the second is enabling that real automated experience for lots and lots of different things.
And I think the other aspect to it, so we've talked about, through our mobile partnerships, being able to offer great SIM and eSIM packages to individual people. Fusion IoT then offers that always connected data connection. I think the other aspect of mobile that our teams are working on is, well, how do we embed the mobile experience into our products? And so I really like our iPEX Anywhere product, where you get that deeper integration with the mobile. That lets you have that experience of, I can be on one device 1 minute, and then whatever I want the next. I can walk out the door and keep transacting in my business. I love the WebEx apps that you and I have been using from the new Cisco solution that will be coming out through the course of this year. And I really like the new solution that we have for PhoneLine Plus Anywhere, that lets you connect an eSIM, lets you make sure that you never miss a call for your business. So I think if we can think about how do we give our customers great access to brilliant mobile packages, if we can use Fusion IoT to provide data connectivity all of the time, and then we can think about how to really mobile enable our broader portfolio. Hopefully, I think that will help people adopt this wave of connectivity as it comes through.
Yeah, and you mentioned something earlier which we haven't really touched on, which is a separation between airtime contract and device. That's actually quite important, isn't it, in the context of a business, because they may want the most robust, reliable, expensive, whatever contract, and a very specific set of devices, because we obviously serve customers from very simple shops right the way through to people who need the most ruggedized devices. That separation gives them that capability and the flexibility to solve that problem.
100%. And, if I reflect, even though I'm a massive geek, my iPad's 5 years old and my iPhone's 3 years old, because the devices now work for much longer than the traditional 12 or 24 month cycle. So being able to use the devices for longer and then separate your data and airtime contract, I think that economically must make sense for a lot of businesses.
And anything key from our side, from a Gamma perspective, in terms of enabling this access for people?
Well, I think we go back to, we're kind of talking about our roadmap. I think that bringing on another mobile operator into the portfolio, got to achieve that this year. Launching Fusion IoT, which we're targeting for H1 this year. I think getting those 2 launches right will be really, really good. I think that's got to be our focus.
I agree. I mean, exciting times to be participating in a really kind of fast-moving part of the industry that enables people to be connected wherever they are, doesn't it? So I hope you enjoyed that conversation between Colin and I, talking about mobile and connections between people and machines. Please join us for the next installment of the Future Vision podcast, when we'll talk about a topic very dear to Colin's heart, which is how you build things as a technologist.